Hey everyone, it's the Groovy Power Hour, and you're here chilling with kcoyi, Tavares, and Solana. Man, welcome y'all. Welcome. This is a magnificent day. We're doing a whole lot of groovy shit today, so let's start off with some love. Thank you, Groovers, for always joining us on Fridays and Tuesdays and showing us major love.
Facts.
Tranquil Forest, thank you. We're about to smoke on some of the finest today.
Nigga forgot our sponsors.
Oh, definitely not. No, you see me grooving over here.
I do. I see you thinking too.
No, I'm just today is a really cool day because I'm just sitting here with kcoyi.
Yes,
And as y'all might know, this is regular shit, but we don't always get the chance to sit here together and chop it up and talk about shit that's been buzzing around the city or that we've been catching eye to. So, this is some cool shit. We're about to smoke some great dope and fuck with you guys. How are you doing, brother?
After further ado, you forgot. I'm good. I just want to put a hand clap in there because there was no real intro.
Not really, like
stepped on yours, and then I was like, "You're not gonna say a further ado."
He's like, I mean,
that's for the guests.
We're going crazy, brazy, hazy. Yeah,
okay.
The Adooskis are for the guests, brother. You hear me. You hear me say that shit all the time. So,
all right. Before we get too far away from it,
yeah, I'm
gonna start with the sad news.
Oh wow!
So
already?
So we could just go through it happy.
You see why we're smoking Big Doty right now? It's mainly because we just broke the news just like about 20 minutes ago during setup. Not even 20, brother. All right, 15 minutes ago, kcoyi told me the worst news of my life. He said, "Oh, we traded Russell Wilson."
Ain't no fucking
way. Man, we've been talking about it. I don't want it to be too much of the topic of today. But I'm over here stressed, depressed, and I'm about to relapse. No, I'm just like,
no cap. He almost left. We almost did.
In a perfect world, I would have stormed out of the office. I was like, brother, I can't even do this. I can't even do this podcast with you, brother. I am perplexed. I gotta think about life. Everything's black and white right now. And it's like a rainy day in the cafe, and I'm sipping coffee. I don't drink coffee.
You're what Seattle was in the early 2000s?
Oh, for surely. The detective comes in. It's been a gloomy day in here in the rainy city. But no, it's y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's good. Tavares is one of the biggest supporters of Seattle sports. It's my love. It's my passion. Besides it all, I do truly love sports. Russell Wilson was one of my favorite players. Sad to see him go, man. I'm over here shaking while rolling this blunt, just talking about it. I'm just thinking of all the memories.
What's your favorite Russ moment then?
Man, favorite Russ moment, honestly, the thing that stands out the most for his time and career here for me is just his involvement with Seattle Children's. You don't see a lot of players like that these days, I mean, they are. There's few and far in between. There's people that are out there that are advocates or advocating and they support, their cities and things like that. But, you just kind of seen the work Russ was doing.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, my brother Miguel Navarro. He passed away due to the cancer that he had. And damn. He spoke for Seattle Children's. And he actually met Russ and DK. But, for that to happen to a young kid from the South End, and for Russ to just be there. He also one of my nieces was in the hospital for a little second. And Russell, I think they were there during the Halloween week where Russell dressed up as Pete Carroll. And my family met Russ. So, you know, just having those like anecdotal moments with a huge player. Like Russell Wilson's like one of the top players in the NFL. But for him to just do that for the community that I hold dear to is just like cool, you know, like outside of it all, you know, like biased Seahawks fan, like if he did this to another organization, if he did this for the Niners, you know, I would still be a huge fan, like, because, you know, that work is important. Yeah. Like I just love how people carry themselves, especially in the sports world. So
come on, Russ, you get your final hand clap.
You get your final hand clap before you go to bum ass Denver. You ninny, like, fuck.
All right, while we're on football, I wanted to ask you about this Aaron Rodgers getting $200 million for 4 years.
He's the biggest punch god in NFL history.
Him and Baby Tron go back to that. Yeah, he's Unky.
That's Unky with the white. Baby Tron pulls up. He takes trips to Wisconsin. And he's like, yeah, I got the cheese for you.
Unky in the back. But I just find it. I find it interesting because I'm not a huge football dude, but I know Aaron Rodgers has been finessing the Packers for at least 6-7 years. He do good enough to make headlines, but
literally he's paying off sports writers to put him in MVP talk.
See, no, I don't even think he on a solo tip. He be doing his thing, but as like a group activity. He is not that nigga, bro. He be finessing, bro. He's one of the biggest quarterbacks that got caught with the fake vaccine. Like, he be doing shit that you just don't.
That was hilarious, bro.
Like, that would never happen to Tom. Like, Tom would never get caught up in that way. Packers be trying to get him out without trying to pay him and make it like a clean break, but they just don't. They could never get over.
He got some proof or something with Green Bay's organization, because they're just like, all right, bro, do whatever you want, brother. If you don't mind, I wanted to bring up.
I don't mind.
Some talking points with you.
What are your?
Oh, you know what, brother? I've never set the timer. Quite edit that out. We're going until the camera shut off.
Only this camera may or may not shut off though. It's only the
I'll watch the time. I know when we started.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. 9 minutes ago.
9 minutes ago? Perfect.
He did not know. Hey, Coy, don't cut none of that out. Keep all that in. It's like a fumbling. I shouldn't have never started with Russ.
Oh my God. You got the emotions rising. You got my heart beating faster.
I feel like I'm sitting way more relaxed than I would if a guest was
You
here.
look relaxed.
You
look like you're having a great time,
I'm
honestly.
Chill Bill, bro.
Yeah, like honestly speaking, like
I'm really
this is like perfect podcast posture for you.
Honestly, the guest might have
triple P's. I'm pushing them. This is too fun.
That's fucking hilarious.
So I wanted to talk about my favorite projects of the year so far. It really trickles in 2021, but also getting into 2022.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention some of my friends and like the people out there that's really been grooving and I've been hearing. I'll start off with K'John's Gloria.
Come on.
I loved it. I love the intricacies of your cadence. I was just a huge fan of what K'John did with like the creative writing, and love the visuals, but also K'John has this crazy way of just like spewing out substance.
Yeah,
it's interesting how hard the song structures are, how long the verses will go. Like some of these are like 32s, or they're bleeding into like these like well-rounded stories. that I was just blown away every time I hear this shit. This shit will play on the bus while I'm like listening to it. I'll look out and it's a regular Seattle day, but it just turns into this movie when I hear the intro, changes or the outro, Gloria, DeSaba went crazy. So, man, if my brother can get a huge hand clap real quick.
Oh, yes.
K'Jean, sure, see what you're doing. Like, keep it pushing. It's been a long time since you've been on, but, Groovy Tapes still sees it.
Come on. Yeah, we definitely got to get my brother back on.
We love you.
Were there any other projects? So you're saying end of the year, start of the year?
I got a list.
Oh,
I got a list, brother.
All right, everybody's not getting this like 5 minute. Run your list.
Joshua's so amazing.
Facts.
TBG open interviews.
Bangers. Back to
Grew from the South too.
Come on. Hold on. The way you said that, yeah. Need to let those off.
Yeah.
Me.
And then All Around the Board by John Mack. I wanted to throw this one in.
I don't know who that is.
He is a new friend. I'll tell you a quick story.
Come on.
It was the day of the MB Nail pop-up at Friendly Fire. I worked security that day. So I worked security for Harry. Pretty much yada 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 blase. We worked the event, and then they get ready to spend the rest of their day until their concert.
Yeah.
MB Nail's concert that night. MB Nail's concert happens, and kcoyi and Marvin were looking for a studio apparently, so they had called up Brother Smooth, and I think Smooth was at home. He was like in his drawers, just like, oh, you need a studio? So
Smooth, he did not need to add that.
Hey, he told me, so I just wanted to word for word,
you didn't
verbatim.
He could have just, he was at home.
They pull up. Smooth's all like, oh, so he calls the boys. He calls Blessing. He calls Los. He calls me. He's like, bro, I got MB Nail pulling up. You guys need to pull up, or just come kick it with me. I pull up at the end of my day. kcoyi's there, and MB Nail and his crew is at the studio.
Yeah.
And this is a really cool moment to have out of towners pull up on the studio. We've never had that before,
especially like such a marquee artist like that. Like, he's buzzing.
And then it just so happened that John Mack, this artist from Oakland, that I believe was on tour with MB Nail at the time, was in the city at the same was in the city.
Yeah.
So he pulls up as well.
Oh, shit.
And they're making music. This is their session. At the end of the session, after they take care of business and they're going crazy, this is like 4 hours later, John Mack chills. Like him and his shooter Snipe, his videographer.
Fire.
Thank you. I just had to.
No, yeah, he definitely put that in preference because.
John Mack connects with Smooth, and we're just chopping it up, and we're chilling. He's telling us about Oakland, how it is out there. We're telling him about, Washington, what we got to offer, and things like that. And we hit it off. He chills a little bit. He's listening to beats from Smooth. They're going crazy. I'm telling you, I never seen someone like spit so melodically, but like also can switch up and just like go like pound for pound, bar for bar.
Yeah.
Which was really cool because I don't have too much experience with Oakland in itself. So meeting him was really cool. He ends up buying a beat from Smooth, I believe. Puts it on his project.
Fire. Hold on. Gotta let that beat.
Yeah. And he shoots a music video out here, and he put it out. It's a apology from Seattle. I be knocking it. If you hear me, yeah, I'm good. I be knocking it. So like really tap in, Groovers. that shit's fire. Like it's some good sound, great sounds actually. Very diverse. Really, I feel like encapsulates that like California swag to him, and then just the genuineness of him just like pulling up on. What are the odds he pulls up on Trey Live Music, and like I get to meet him. Now we're talking, and like we make the connections, and like it's just cool to like know someone like in California that's not family, and like that not really too much ties. So
that's amazing. Hell yeah, brother.
Cool moments, man. It's been a lot of, it's really crazy because we've been living a lot of cool moments for the past like year. Like,
no, the last year, almost year and a half, has been amazing. Like, just to be able to host a platform for the homies and just the outside homies, and just like be able to build with like local artists, and to be able to go to the shows, interact. Just like we jumped off of, like, I was on a boat. Like, the boat is probably the continued thing I will mention because I don't fuck with water at all. And that came through the pod. Like it came through a relationship through the pod. It came through like just hosting and just being a part of the community, and just being able to like, hey, like go do a Groovy Tape thing, but not really a Groovy Tape thing. It was just the homies just on a boat, and like to share that moment and just have that forever, where we could just have like this thing that we do led to me jumping into the water, which I would never have fucking imagined would happen.
In the middle of a lake.
Well, whatever. It's big body. No,
I know. That's huge water. What?
Bro, I don't fuck with water at all.
You jump in the lake.
Bro, you would have. I don't swim. So
exactly.
It's like I can swim. I just don't swim. So it's like.
It's bad. It's water K.
It's water K. But just have the pod create that moment where we could just like be outside in a way and be expressive like off this is really dope. So I wanted to ask you how you feel our music scene will take shape this year, because I feel like there's a lot of people that made tremendous noise last year that should be out of here this year. So what do you feel is those next steps? Because we were at the shows, we went to a lot of the clubs. Like, what do you feel would be the next piece to add this year for those artists and yourself? Like,
I think this past year was probably the most monumental, pivotal moment in the game so far, because people out here are building foundations that like the rest of our people can stand on. Yeah. And now it's up to the game to actually like receive us.
I'm gonna let you continue.
There was always outsiders looking in, but I feel like there was a huge like disconnect between what they believed in with our scene. And now this past year, people have been making so many moves that like, without a doubt, in the industry, there's people out here touching things.
Yeah.
Like there's creative direction. There's communities that have hands of people that have roots from Washington.
Yeah.
So you'll like throw a rock in Florida and you'll hit a movie or something, and then like you'll find out someone from Washington had something to do with that.
Yeah.
So I believe that now there are people looking in to Washington, and they're like, yo, it's here. Yeah. They're making it loud and clear. And what are we going to do about it? There's now artists flying in. There's been that wave of like people coming to Seattle again. Yeah. Like, we just had Guap Dad for Trav. We had MB Nell pull up. We had Maxo Cream this past week. Like these are artists or like there's creators and artists and people in the game that's been in the game for a while that are now tapping in.
Yeah.
BFP, the Pac-Man's about to come out here.
See, I might have to return to Mint just to go see, because I'm like
Mint's a fun place, and
Mint can be a fun place.
Excuse me.
It's been like, it's as fun if we're gonna be, it's as fun as it is can be treacherous.
Yeah.
So like it's fun with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel like the Pac-Man being here is one of those moments where I'm like, I don't really want to miss it just because of,
You can meet, bro.
Yeah, he
and
seems
like,
really personable, like where it's just like,
bro, I'm a fan of what you do, bro.
You're hilarious, like on some like real cool shit, like you.
But and those moments are important because
Yeah.
like, when's the last time we've had those moments where like the Seattle people can embrace artists from like other places, as well as them mingling with our people?
I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot of. I would say we're getting more of those moments, like what Booth has been doing with Sad, and just like, honestly, what Booth has been doing is amazing. Like the way he's really using his connections to connect Seattle and LA in today, I would say in today's time, is really refreshing, because you just like, you see him working his ass off. You see it visibly, like him grinding all the time, like doing shows in LA or just doing like music in LA and then coming back out here to do shows and just like building a bridge for it to like just only add more success, which I think is really dope and should be like noted, because like he's an independent artist really making waves, like, you know, spending his own money to get these features and move throughout the country to like promote himself. So I look at like that. I look at what Scoob and them are doing, TBG as one of those moments, because like, you know, that like them doing a show and then Tupac and Segi doing a show are like kind of those moments where I could really look at the city and be like, these are people making grand statements and just making real. I can't wait till this is like all week, like once a month or like every other month. They're like, oh, we're doing a show here and then we're doing like the Tri-Cities, and like I can't wait to see the homies like get into that cemented, like you can at least do the Washington area, the Northwest sort of tour. So I think what Booth is doing, Scoob and the guys are doing, it's fucking amazing. And like, you know, we already know Tupac has been making those statements, especially, and OTC has been making those statements where it's just like building their own connections, growing their fan base, working on the music, and just like adding to it by doing performances, because live performance is the way, like, I'm going to come out and buy merch. Like, it's cool to do online drops, but I'll really come out and, like, if you do a show and do tour merch and shit like that, that's another way for me to be like, oh, I want that, because it's like the Chop Suey version of this shirt will only be here. The Neptune version, you know, the Crocodile version, like these, you know, there's ways to create moments in your own city with, you know, by merchandising, by who you do the sets with. So I feel like it'll only add. I feel like it should only add this year, because everyone saw it and realized it could be real. Like people that you see moving through the state, moving through the city, you might see them at Mint. You might see them, you know, shooting a music video like on the same street as you. They're still here doing a lot of things. So I think people should look at that and like as aspirations of like, okay, I can make a buzz in my own city, and I can also do the things that will connect me outside of the city to propel my career and like treat it as like a career. So I think those things that people get to see in real time will propel this scene. And as long as people use it as motivation and not hate, it's always a great way for the scene to explode. Because like you should look at people in your backyard that you've been seeing working as like, oh shit, like, oh, they did a show, I need to do a show. Like it don't gotta be it don't gotta be 500 people. But if I do a show for 100, 150, 200, like that's still people from your city that came out to watch you perform your music. So I feel like those things need to be just looked at in a way. And I just want the venues, honestly, to allow the people to be able to. Oh, damn.
That was a bad throw.
It was my left hand. It's not your fault. But I just want the venues to allow the people that are doing things in their city to like capitalize on it. I feel like a lot of the difficulties in Washington is getting a good venue to just let you host and let you like really check your temperature of where you are. And like you don't know until you can be like, can I get people in my own city to pop out? Like, how am I going to get people in other cities to pop out if I can't do a set of 100 here? So I feel like us having more access to venues that will allow hip hop shows specifically to happen, it will ultimately help the scene flourish because like as much as I love seeing the homies perform at Mint, I would love to see them in like our traditional venues, you know, the Chop Sueys, the Neptunes, the Crocodiles, the New Most. Like I would love to see the Showboxes. I would love to see the like.
Shit, can we get one in Tacoma down? I'm fucking gone over here, bro. I've been blinking like 60 times. Damn, I'm so sorry, Groovers. I'm over here wasting time.
Dumb punching. That's the craziest.
Corey,
hold on.
Corey's like, damn.
No, I'm not like damn. Corey's gonna be like, damn. You got the wrong nigga that's gonna have a feel away about this.
What's wrong with me?
Corey's gonna be like, why the fuck did that happen? Ask your man.
You weren't here,
bro. Ask your man why that happened.
Yeah, I'm over here. Kyle Ken blazed.
Nigga said I turned it off. Dead ass serious though. Like, all right.
You know, granted, my XP level is real low with the cameras, which actually made me check myself just now. I can't ever do that again.
All this nigga had to do was re-record.
I was like, huh?
I turned it off. Why?
The screen was black, and I got scared. I thought it was already fucked up, so I just turned it off.
Before he got over there, though, no one touched. That's the funny part. No one has moved. He's like, it's off. It can't be off. I turned it off.
I thought it died or something. I was like, what did I do? This is the process of everything you just witnessed.
They will not witness that. This will all be cut out.
Groovy Tapes bloopers.
For sure. For sure. Mark that as a blooper.
Before we move on the music topic, I want to just throw out some...
We still got music topics.
No, I just wanted to throw out favorite visuals, you know, before we wrap all this up in a little bow. Favorite visuals, you know, Dead Prezzies, Till I Bossed Up 2. All right, let me frame it like this: Dead Prezzies, Travis Thompson, and G-Eazy. Till I Bossed Up 2, Ralphie Davis. No Rhythm, Mike Jack, and the boy. Ripstick, shout out Relax. And then K's and Grams by TBG. Some of my favorite visuals.
Hands up for sure.
For surely. This has been a process. I'm loving this, by the way. Corey.
I cannot
I just
wait to see what this really looks like in the real. Like, that's gonna be the fun part. Watching it back and being like, oh, he kept this, he took this out. Nah, those were probably some of my favorite visuals. I haven't seen Ralphie Davis's visual, so I gotta tap in after this. But Mike Jack doing 100K in like 2 weeks is amazing. Mike Jack is probably like, I'm loving watching him check off these boxes and get into these, like, just slowly doing the next thing without looking around him. That's what it really feels like. It feels like he's just like, okay, this is what you should be doing, so this is what I'm doing. Like, when he did, from the point where he did the billboard to like what he's done today is like, it's fucking mind blowing. And just like, you see it with the streams, you see it with just the views, you see it like even our pod being like almost a year ago, and it's consistently climbing. Like he's doing the things like the intangible things that just get you that reception of like, I'm here to stay. I'm gonna keep leveling up. So like, shout out Mike Jack. You're definitely working your ass off. You're working your ass off to get to this next level. I wanted to talk about the shop opening, Aisle 4's grand opening, and just give the cart boys, the guys, some flowers. Just because I know how hard it was to get to that point, how much time was spent to get to that point, just all the inner frustrations and just inner late nights and just like all the time that it took just to have the reception that it deserved. I think is amazing. Like just I said it was bittersweet because I had to go to work, but just while I was there, just seeing the guys get into that mode of like people came here to shop. Like Jaime's styling people as they're shopping. Tobe's running the register. Like Alex is like recording and just getting like these moments of just people enjoying the space and just taking the opportunity to be like, damn, like this is what this has been about. This is what you guys have been doing on the internet. This is like what Aisle 4 is, and just to see the internet perception be real life is like amazing. And just like seeing the guys get to live in that moment of just like, man, like we're all from here, and now it's like a store that we provide to the people. It's no longer us shopping at a store, us putting on a store, us, building these other businesses up. It's just like now it's a storefront from people who are from here, and it's beautiful to be a part of. It's beautiful to see prosper and just like know what the next year, know what the next 6 months looks like. And yeah, I just wanted to take a moment while we're just doing this, like, I guess free, I don't know what to call it. It's just like a regular pod, but while we're doing this, just to shout out the guys for that moment, because I know they all saw and was like surprised and just like kept putting their head down like it should be. But like I'm gonna use the platform just to be like that was major. Like it was major to see like people come out and be excited to like shop Aisle 4 and shop with the guys and be like meet these people in real life. Like I know there was people there that was just excited to just be like, fuck, I can put faces and names and personalities to like people I've been just following on the gram. So it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to just be in with the guys, like, and just like celebrate like the first win of many. So I really just wanted to take this time and just, shout out to Aisle 4, shout out to the gang, shout out to the car boys, go buy some sweatsuits, go get some free game. Jaime might teach you how to dress better. Yeah, like go fuck with the shop, because the hard work and the time that was put into it, you will feel and you'll learn something from. Like it's been the best battery in my back for the last year, So hand clap for the guys. I does this.
Divine timing.
I haven't hit this wood. I just been ashing it for like 5 minutes.
That's perfect. No, I'm glad that you brought that up, because it really is major to have that storefront in the community, that it's really important, It's real powerful when you see individuals that can, be creative and connect on that higher level. You guys been going crazy. Speaking of Aisle 4, man, we want to shout out Brother Hayes.
Oh shit! You wrote him down in your notes too.
Mm-hmm.
I used them in my notes too.
Man,
shout out to the boy.
Shout out to the boy, man. And as you know, the brand Aisle 4 and in the space, Born to Win is coming up.
Yes.
March 18th, 19th, and the 20th, I believe.
Come on.
Born to Win Basics and Red Zone pop up. Shout out Austin. Shout out all four. And shout out brother B.Haze.
See,
I wanted to ask you a question.
Before you ask me that question, I just want to give Hayes his flowers
For surely
doing the ETC collab as well, because I know that's major. Like that is not a small thing, and he's earned it. It's really beautiful to see him like work himself into the position that he deserves to be in, and just like that's another person in the city that like that motivates the hell out of me. Like motivates me to like get to that next level, and like just watching him work day in, day out and put in those like endless hours to just reach that mountaintop he's searching for it's amazing. Like I tweeted out or I posted the other day, I was like, if you're looking for culture in like Washington, like Hayes is where it starts. Like, and I mean that in every way. If you want to like know what Seattle looks like, feels like, what the game is like, Hayes is like one of those perfect people just to look at and like, okay, this is how you do it here. Like this is how you put on for your city and like rep your city in like a way that's just like prosperous. Like you can't, like if you hate on Hayes, you're a fucking weirdo, because he does nothing but put people on. He does nothing but bring people together and just like operate in a way where it's just like, go get some money, like go, like if you follow Hayes should motivate you to go get a bag, and that's all you should be like, damn, like how am I going to elevate? So I just wanted to shout out my brother Hayes and just everything he's doing. It's so necessary and so important in the scene. It like he's doing the other things to make us blow, like fashion and music go hand in hand, and Hayes is really front line for our fashion and really putting on for how to like blow your brand up. He's blowing his baby up, so it's fire to see. What were you gonna ask me, sir, before I rudely interrupted?
No, you're perfectly fine, brother. I just wanted to ask you, as being a streetwear head yourself, what's it going to take for us to sustain ourselves,
fashion wise?
Mm-hmm.
Locals to spend more money, and that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no difference in quality with a lot of the brands that are here, from what you get out of state. What you get in LA or New York or like these other places, like you can get here, and you just, if you pay attention, it's right in front of you. There's so many brands here that you could just like get fly with and never have to be like, oh, I gotta buy X, Y, and Z, unless that's your taste. Like you don't like I'm trying to think of like a really like Supreme would be one of those brands. Like you could get great t-shirts, great hoodies, great references from like, I would say ETC and even better. And something that you're connected to in a way that's like, oh, this makes sense. Like the Sasquatch makes sense. Like, the Finch makes sense. Like these are things that you see, you grow up with, exist, and it's like, oh, it's the same, if not better quality.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm connected to it because I'm from this place, or I see this. Like, even if you're not from here, these things to be Washington related. So I feel like it will just take the random person that just like shops here to switch from like thinking, going to the mall first and just look around them. Like ask people that are here, like, what are you wearing? Like, what brands are you fucking with? What do you like? Because like Hayes has done a pop up every other month. He's giving you sweatsuits. He's giving you pants. He's giving you hoodies, t-shirt, like
winter pants.
He's giving you jackets, scarf, like
gloves.
Except like like So if you look up, like, Red Zone is giving you the same, like, energy. There's, like, these brands here that's giving you these pieces where you could go, oh, I can get dressed here. Like, if we are just short of Brooks letting people locally redesign their sneakers. If Brooks let someone locally creative direct their shoes, bro, I'd be in all Washington fits. I just can't do the Brooks shoes. They got to start figuring out what Solomon is doing, because Solomon is making the same dad shoes. They just getting flyer niggas to dress in them. So it's just like, it works. So, like, I don't know. It's just going to take those things where you're like, your mindset is to spend here, like spend in your own backyard, get connected to these brands in a way you're connected to brands and people you don't know and don't have a real basis for, and don't really give a fuck about your, like, where you live particularly. So, like the same thing, like the music with the fashion, just spend your dollars with the people you see and you recognize and you, like, can relate to. Like, if you know someone is from, like, if you know they went to high school in Beach, right? Like, say, example. Like, if you know Tavares went to high school in Beach and, went to Dunlap, went to South, like, if he's from here, when you drop an album, people, if they like you and like the music, they should stream it and tell a homie. If you drop merch, if you're from here, they should support these things to help you elevate everything. Because if you are from here and you're spending your money here and you keep, like, cycling the dollar through, it's only inevitable for you to, like, for the next thing to blow, because you'll stop, like, if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars and all you're in is local shit, those, whoever's like, oh, where you get that from? Oh, that's the homie from the city. That's, those people who tap in with you will tap in with them, and it'll just keep cycling through where it's just like, okay, now the brands here are allowed to make more money. Now you can spend more money with the print shops here. Like, you can just grow the industry out. But I feel like we often look past these things until it has a certain stamp of approval, and sometimes it needs that you stamp, and sometimes it needs you to stamp it for it to grow, for that stamp of approval. Because, to get to these, like, celebrity spaces takes money to even send your, like, even if you seed your garment to somebody, you spent your money to get that whatever made to give it away for free. So that takes other people buying your shit out. So that makes sense, So it just takes things like that where it's like, all right, I'm not going to buy the Louis Vuitton hoodie. I'm going to go buy some Red Zone hoodies. And now Bougie's allowed to do more with his brand because you bought all the hoodies. You bought all, you bought the bags. You bought this, you bought the items where it's just like he can now grow because his budget is now bigger, and now he can do other things with other brands, and just allow that ecosystem to grow. It just takes people spending their money, because it's cool to retweet, it's cool to repost. That is the first step. But spend your dollars, and that is the second step. You want to see your homie get to his next level? Make sure, like, if he runs a brand or whatever, you spend your little dollars with it, and that's all it takes. And it doesn't require the extraness of it, like, it doesn't require it to be on a famous person. It doesn't require these things. If 1,000 people, spend $1,000 with you, you made 10 grand, So it's those little things that just get you to those next. Is it 10 grand? I don't know. Somebody correct.
1,000?
I don't know.
I think that's 100K.
Okay, so, but yeah, it just takes these things where
they gonna find out we can't do math. Some real shit.
I can't smoke and do math off the dome. That is clear. That is apparent.
Give yourself a motherfucking hand clap, man.
What?
I'm loving this, man. We about to do this all the time,
this nigga's
man.
watching me like where he's like I'm the
Corey's
guest.
really the fucking goat, bro. Whole lot of love into our city, but man, I want to sit here and tell you, motherfucker, that you know I'm proud of what you do and how we do it, man. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into the Groovy Tapes, and you know, with all that being said, and our introduction to the industry and moving about, I just want to give you your flowers because you know we sit here, we show a lot of love, and that's what we got to do. But man, you're working your ass off. This whole team, the Groovy Tapes team, has been working our asses off. So, like, man, shout out to us, bro. This is like we just came up on our 2-year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
There's been a whole lot of work, whole lot of meetings, and
are we gonna tell people that's not our real 2-year anniversary, or is that our new 2-year anniversary?
that's our 2-year anniversary from the. This is when
that's not our 2-year anniversary. Our first episode dropped the 27th
of February.
Yeah. That's good. What is it? March 2nd now?
Oh, it's the 8th.
No, not today.
When I posted, yes.
March 2nd, new anniversary. He said, no, it's the 8th. Oh. All right.
But with all that being said,
you've been goofing with the South.
Oh, we're done?
Yeah, it's been an hour. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. You've been grooving with the South. KWJC. You got Corey and Tavares.